I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. I am still on vacation, so I have not been watching the market so much tick for tick and keeping up with all the news. I do know that Trump made a statement last week about Taiwan, and looked like the chip sector took some selling pressure there. Could be bringing some other stocks down as well with it. Um, we will take a look at the SPY. We're watching a moving average pattern. In the SPX, we're watching a moving average pattern that we watch all the time. So we're making decisions based off that. I also want to point out that it's a big earnings week coming up to the beginning of the earnings season, so earnings will dictate the market. And already this week we're hearing some pretty big names coming out like Tesla, Google, Verizon. Got ENPH in there, you got Spotify, American Airlines, GE, ServiceNow, Avi, BMY, Lockheed Martin's in there. 3M's is in there. You got Honeywell, Love. So you're seeing a good breakdown. There's Texas Instruments in there. So we'll get to look inside the chip sector, the Magnificent Seven, and just get a good idea of what the start of earnings season may look like. Like I say, earnings seasons will be dictating short term on the market. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into it and get on moving through the charts. I do want to point out that with Trump moving the tech sector or the chip sector last week, we definitely want to start keeping an eye on for Trump comments again to move the market. They can come out of nowhere, and I do know that a lot of swing traders, it bothers a lot of swing traders for the market to move like that. But for me personally, that's exactly what we're looking for is areas of momentum to jump into. We are momentum traders, and those areas pay great. So we're looking for news and events like that to happen to give us short-term moves in the market that we can capitalize, making the quicker money. So our guys definitely need to keep an eye on comments for that. So we do have the put to call ratio. It looks like we closed at 80, which is still in the bullish zone down here. So we are in the bullish zone there. So we got the NASDAQ oscillators, 23, still positive. This is the New York Stock Exchange oscillator, and it's still positive 11, so still positive there. Now for our breadth chart, we are moving lower here as the market is breaking down. Got the US dollar with a nice piercing line candle on Thursday, Friday, nice candle back up above this 9. We'll watch the direction of that 9, the angle. We'll keep an eye on those angles and see if we can get follow through on that. The VIX, huge candle Friday, like a very long-legged doji there, following a couple bullish engulfing candles, pushing higher. Nice, strong move there Friday because it did, this candle was way down here. If this candle is correct, we took a big pull, and then the bulls were able to bring it back up. Should say, I guess the bears were able to bring it back up. Crude is breaking down here, that's also good for the market. You can see a little upward sloping inverted head and shoulders area right there that we're breaking down out of. Apple's forming a goose head here as well. It is breaking down below the 9, still holding the 20. We could be setting up for a goose head. This is what we call the goose head. This could be setting up for a third wave to go higher until we initially break down. We're not really sure. We're watching the lows. As long as we're just putting in a higher low, could still be gearing up to go higher. You can see this 9 trying to drift out on Apple. So kind of pushing away, price action come down. That was kind of starting to turn out. So we want to look at the angles of everything tomorrow. MACD has turned bearish. You want to note that we still could, like I say, we still could be putting in a higher low for the trend up. So we need to break that trend before we turn too bearish. That's all I'm saying. We're going to talk about that through a lot of these charts. It's the same setup. And as long as we're holding that trend, we're not looking to be too bearish yet. Now we break the trend, of course, we'll be more bearish. But right now we're still leaning initially bullish for now. Apple 15-minute charts did have a pullback on Friday and then pretty choppy. Gold breaking down below the 9. Watch the 20 there. So this chart measures the percentage of stocks that's above their 250-day in the SPX and the New York Stock Exchange, or the S&P 500 in the New York Stock Exchange. So we still got 70% above their 200. We still got 67% above the 50 in the New York Stock Exchange. And for the S&P 500, we still got 75% above the 200. Only 65 above the 50, but that's still holding in very strong there, but that can break down. You can see it gained it all back in just a few days, and it's giving it back in just a few days too. So it can break down quickly. Advanced decline lines have come down, testing the 9. Right now, we're still at the 9 or above the 9. So still chance of a possible reversal coming. Like I say, it may even be a surprise to some people, but the the earnings will dictate the market from here on out for the next short term, next month or so. So pay attention next 3 weeks. Definitely won't want to pay attention to these big names as they report. Airbnb below the 9 and 50 there. AMD, pretty tough action on Friday. You can see Amazon actually gapped down and then pushed back up. Did have a high close candle, but still closed below that candle line. Watch that candle line, seeing a rejection there. And that's Amazon daily. ARM daily. You can see ARM up. Basically, I mean, it's close. It's close. It's still a higher low as of now. Watching this low, because this candle did close above. You can see it is still in an uptrend for now, but it's trying to break down, definitely. But we did see that reversal on Friday. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. Like I say, I'm watching this low here, but really looks like it did close. Let's draw that, because that's iffy. Let's draw that. Yeah, so we did close above, still above that low. So that's what we're doing. We're watching these lows here. We break that trend, and we are looking for a move down. Avgo back to the 9 on the weekly chart, so want to watch that for support. Avgo daily, looks like it did put in a new low here. If we do try to push up, watch your high. It's probably going to, if it's starting a downtrend, we're expecting a lower high to move lower if it does try to reverse. It tried to gap up. You can see a strong day on Thursday, tried to gap up on Friday, and they give it back below that range there. We're looking to go lower. Watch your 50 on the way down. Watch your range low. Break that range low. We're looking to come in. AMD, this is AMD's daily. Looks like it's been trading pretty rough. Finally did try to break out here and come right back in. That could have had something to do with Trump comments too. AMD weekly candle about Taiwan. We're not being political. Man does move the market. We're traders. We look to take advantage of that, not being political at all. Strong bearish engulfing candle there. Amazon, strong push on pre-market Friday and just chopped around at open. Strong push until market open, of course. Amazon, you can see low close there below that 20, barely. Well, on a weekly, it did close below the 20. Apple, this is Apple's weekly. You got a nice bearish engulfing candle there. You can watch that 9. You can also see that angle change on that 9 too. So it may want to come in on that chart and retest that 9. We'll take a look at the. I think we already have looked at the daily on that one. Boeing, possible lower high right there. But right now the bands are tubing. Just looks like it wants to chop. I would leave that one alone for now. Bitcoin had a rising 3 here, confirmed rising 3 with a higher closed candle. I would keep an eye on this, for a possible move up back to the range high and see how we act there. CCJ, it is a slight reversal candle, a little spinning top type candle, but it did close back inside the previous body, so it closed above the previous day's low. That's a decent sign that it may be trying to reverse. I would only be looking for a lower high at this point in the next breakdown. I'm not looking for this huge reversal. And it may give it, but it may take time, or it could go lower. You can see I would watch, see the volume profile here. I would watch the low of this candle here. I'd want it below that. You definitely want it below the 200 too. So the low of that candle, that low right there, will put you below that 200. Below that, we're looking to go lower. But right now, it looks like it's just possibly wants to move up for a bear flag. CCL, you got a little flag here. I think we drew it on one of these charts. Carnival still holding in, still looks decent. Depending on the angle of this 9 tomorrow. Looking for a push-up because we had a green candle. I'd like to see a push-up, back up and retest the range high. If this gets below that 9, we're looking to come down, test that 20. Plan A, Plan B with that one. Coin, this is Coin's daily chart. Strong push on Friday. Like I say, Bitcoin's looking pretty good too. So it looks like the coin's finally reacting here, or the stocks are finally reacting. The Bollinger Bands open up. That's a nice looking setup right there. I would watch this chart if you're interested in trading like that. Definitely money coming back in. You got a goose head forming here, zero line reversal happening. Coin's a decent looking chart. That's Coin's weekly. Let's go back to Coin's daily. Watch for a move back up to this range high. Watch this range high. I think we already got to close above that, and then look for a move up to that range high, to that little 279.71 things in the way. That may be the range high. I'm not positive about that. Wish that candle wasn't there, or that tag wasn't there, so I can see the top of them candles. The weekly chart looks good. You can see a higher low W confirmed right there. Put in a higher low, so you can see a trend change. It definitely looks like it wants to go higher here on the weekly. Continue to watch those Bollinger Bands to see the angle on them. Coin does look good here. Cost breaking down. Carvana. All right, watch Carvana coming into earnings here. I'm not sure if they've already reported. Just saying, I would keep an eye because it's been getting expanding volume coming in around earnings. You can see some selling pressure there on that day too, but you can see it right around here earnings time. It keeps getting expanded volume coming into it on the earnings date. So it just could be worth watching on that. XLC, communication sector breaking down. XLP, got to watch this 9 here. ExxonMobil trading in this little channel. Watch this, it's a slight ascending channel there it's trading into, so we may, if we obviously play down, possible play down to your 9, but we break those levels, look for a move back down to the bottom of the channel, and then look for a possible reversal. FDX, this is FedEx looking good. Nice flag here, flagging back into the 9, watching the angle on the 9, and also the UPS earnings is going to be important here. Because say UPS gets a bad earnings, it could possibly, FedEx could possibly move down with them. It's where it's up so nicely, could give a really nice move down with that gap down there, or it could possibly take a nice higher move up as well off of that bull flag that it's forming right now. Google, this is Google's daily, closed below that 50. Google 15-minute chart, some pretty strong chop in that area. IWM, looks like it was pretty choppy on Friday too. A nice move down, then a nice reversal, and give it back. Pretty choppy area in there. Good volume coming in at the end of the day though. Just want to note that. Q's had good volume coming in at the end of the day as well, last 15 minutes. You see a nice move down here on the Q's. That looks like it's a pretty good trading area. Some really good trading in that area until we get down there in that chop. It looks like a decent week. That was a nice pull down. That sucked right there, but that was a nice pull. And the lower low W forming, tried to reverse and giving it all back. Just looking at the weeks. Like I say, I haven't really watched the charts that strongly. Now Q's weekly back down to the weekly 9 there. Watch that for support. JP Morgan, trying to hold this daily 9. Looks like it slightly did close below it, but trying to hold that area. It did close below, so right now possible move down to the 20. Watch the low. Right now it is in an uptrend, so we could just be pulling back to put in a higher low and then go higher. Price waves seem like they're getting a little tight up there if that is what it's doing. Definitely want to keep an eye on that chart. KRE, you got the regional bank sector. The 9 is opening up. Bands are nice high close candle. Bands are opening up. The 9's turned up. The 20's turned up. Chart looks great. MACD. Still got the RSI on that. Need to get the money flow on that chart as well. A nice close up there. See if we can go higher. I would watch this range high if this does want to go. I want to see where the bands open up at. If we open up inside the bands tomorrow, if the bands jump up and we gap down a little bit, we open up inside the bands. Be careful. Bands will be resistance on the way up if it does want to go. It's got to push back through them. Look for a pull down if it does not try to push. Chart looks great right now. Would not be too bearish on that chart. Mara. News can change that, very highly affected on news and comments and stuff like that. So Mara got a little bull flag here. It's a pretty wide little flag, but it's actually trading. If you draw that out, it's going to look like a little channel too. You want to see that see that flag, break out that flag. Meta, it's in a downtrend now, trying to get back to that 9, bears keep taking it back. This is Meta and intraday. It does look like it had a higher close date than what it opened up. Let's go back and look at that. Yeah, you can see definitely difficult action there, and very difficult here on the charts. That was a nice move down, but going back up, it's definitely not like that on the way back up. Micron heading lower. I would look. See where that opens up tomorrow. Watch your bands. Microsoft, nice recovery on that. I believe this pulled back probably on that CrowdStrike news as well. Big move down, recovered, gap down right there. That's probably where the news hit. And then it tried to recover and then chopped. Microsoft daily, watch your 9 there. 9 looks like it's trying to drift higher. See what the angle weekly 9 gives tomorrow. See where that candle opens up. 2 down weeks on that one. Norwegian Cruise Lines, bull flag in here. NVIDIA, watch this 50 here, gap down. NVIDIA 15-minute chart, breaking down. You can see a little very double bottomish down there, trying to reverse off from it and then come right back into that area again. So see if that area hold. We've come down in this area 3 times. We did wick down and hit that candle line, so we did get a slightly higher close there, but it did wick down, hit that candle line. So watch that area. If we do break down, want to clear that. It's actually on the 15. It's actually a lower low. Yeah, you got this gap above, so watch your gap for resistance there as well. That's the daily. See if we can look at the weekly. There's NVIDIA's weekly, close below the 9. Not a huge pull, but it definitely feels like, that looks like that could come in some more. Earnings this week. Right now it's in an uptrend. So we're watching to see if that uptrend holds. We're just looking to see what kind of low it gets put in, where the low gets put in at. We start breaking trends and we start looking for moves down. All right, NASDAQ coming back in. This looks like the start. Well, if we do push up, this just looks like the start of a head and shoulders forming eventually. If we do try to push back up, we want to see where this high gets put in at. We are very close to putting in a lower, or very close to coming down and testing that low anyway. So right now it's still in an uptrend, but we're on the way down. We need to see where this low gets put in at. Like I say, this is NASDAQ. This is kind of important. If we do get a higher low, we want to see the high here. We want to put in a higher high. If it's just a soft rollover, then we kind of know what to expect. Netflix bearish engulfing candle there with a big wick on it. It's a pretty powerful candle there to the downside. Qualcomm, that one's coming in too. We know we had some news. I believe that was on the 17th when that dropped. Q's red candle there. That is like a shooting star. RCLS is Royal Caribbean, still holding the 9 there, trying to push back up. I would have watched that band up there. This does look like it's trying to go higher. Riot's pushing off the 9 there, strong close. I like it better when it clears this candle, but you may be able to get a trade up to that's probably 1275-ish area, somewhere in there. Check it on your chart, please. Probably get a trade up there to test, like a price as memory trade to test that range high candle, see where it opens up tomorrow. You may try to get a push up that area. Above that area, we're looking to go higher. Starbucks, this is a great looking chart. There's rumors of an Elliott, undisclosed Elliott, which may be disclosed tomorrow. We never know. But right now, undisclosed Elliott stake, got good volume coming in on that. You can see the W pattern. Watch this range high test. Whether the news is good or not, who cares? Who cares? I mean, we're short-term traders. We're just trying to get in here and make some money and get back out. We'll look to get, but we're not trying to come in here and marry one stock. We're trying to make good money on stocks, throughout the day instead of just buying one stock, holding it, hoping to make good money in one stock. We take several different trades a day. We're momentum traders, and looks like there was quite a bit of momentum in the trade. All right, SMCI, long period of chop there, is trading in a range. On a weekly, same thing, still trading in a range. SMH, down week last week, we've discussed that. Some comments were made. Square, below the 9 here, and I just want to note that very tower topish up there, that 9's turned up right now. See what that 9 acts tomorrow on Square. Very tower topish there. Tesla, looks like it got a spike at the end of the day. You can see that on the 15-minute chart. A spike in after hours for some reason. Not sure. Could have been comments made. Taiwan Semi, so closed below the 50 there. Bands opening up. XLK, watching this 50 here. Bands opening up there too. It's been a really nice chart here. Lowered, so that's breaking a trend. We put in a higher high, right? We just put in a new low. So we're breaking that low there, gives us a new low. This may be, if we do try to push up here on XLK at all, we're just looking for a higher low until we break that. So right now this is the birth of a new trend. That trend can turn around and go higher again if it wants to, or it can break down. On the weekly here on XLK, we are still in an uptrend on this chart. Like to break this out, and that's the 190 area, so that's going to be 195 area maybe. So it looks like it's going to be a drastic pull. That's what it's going to feel like before we even break the trend. So right now we are still in an uptrend. We broke it on the one. We're still in an uptrend on the monthly. That is the monthly chart. Tesla weekly. Just trying to come in here. The Bollinger Band looks like we closed inside of that Bollinger Band, kind of splitting it there. Watch your 200. We are below the 200 on this one. This one's been chopping for a little while now. Tesla daily, we had this nice breakout coming back in. Right now it's looking like a lower high, possible H cell pattern. Looking at, should have had a bigger stem on it. Would look a little more, textbook of a pattern. But you got a very bearish evening star there. So you got this bearish evening star, never really confirmed, but right now it has closed lower than this candle. Still watching the bottom of this candle if we can get that confirmation, and hopefully this 20 will move up. I'd like to clear it all at the same time. Below that 20 looking to come in, but you can start to see very H cell patternish there. Uber, this was a nice looking chart. We did close upside, so big fake out here coming back in. Watch this thing on Friday. Or on Friday, you can see we had a little reversal gap up here, and it didn't have a high close candle. If this thing may want to push up and retest the center of this box, and then see what it does there. If it gets rejected, look for it to go lower. If it takes that out, so got a couple of days for that to work out. You could possibly get some trades on it while it's setting that pattern up, if you understand it. Wells Fargo chopping sideways on that one. Walmart going higher. XLE. This one's coming back in, bounce off that Bollinger Band. XLF coming back in. That's still bull flagging here. So we're still holding the 9. This is the daily. We're still holding the daily 9 on that right now. That is just a bull flag. See if that breaks down or if it does want to go higher. If it does break down, we look for that pattern, that moving average pattern we call the goose head to be formed. You can make money while that's forming as well. A nice close down here. And of course, every goose head's going to fail. Doesn't mean that it's going to actually form one and go higher. It could fail. We can play that. As soon as we get the proper signal on it, we know how to play it. Below that 20 there on SPX. This is SPX weekly. Nice low close in bearish engulfing candle. SPX monthly. Still got some days left in that candle. Diamond coming back in. Right now that is still a bull flag there as well. Diamond, still a high close on last week, but big rejection there. Big rejection. SPY coming back in here. We have closed below the 20. We're still in an uptrend on this daily chart for now. If we break this low, we're looking to come in. That's where we start turning bearish. On the weekly, still below the previous low here. Won't take that long. You know what? $6-8 it could do that tomorrow. SPY monthly rejection off that band. You can see still got time left in that candle. SPY 15-minute chart. SPY 60-minute chart just chopping sideways. TLT very tower topish up there, or not tower topish, double topish up here. I know it's a lower low, which is actually signaling a downtrend, but very double topish. Possible move down to that range low. See where candle opens up tomorrow. Still above some moving averages. I'm not being too bearish yet. High close candle, but big rejection. Got good volume coming on the IWM. Probably a lot of that selling pressure. IWM right now is still in a bull flag. That band's still angling higher. For now, this looks like it's trying to break that bull flag and go higher. I would keep a close eye on these. Like I say, earnings are going to dictate quite a bit of what's coming forward, but definitely that bull flag there on that daily chart. And that is the end of our chart. So hope everybody's having a great weekend. Of course, I hope everybody stays green this week and try to cut them bad trades as we get them. Have a great weekend, everybody.